Hi guys, sorry I can't see you. This is your drama work for today. So, obviously, we've been looking at epic theatre and we're going to think about how to use that understanding and how to apply it to some script work. Okay, so in terms of your outcomes, then within your work today, I'm looking for it to be all in your own words. I don't want to see any copy and pasting from the internet, please. That it is clear, that you've shown a strong understanding of the task and that it looks professional when I'm reading it through as well, please. Okay. So your first task is our SMSC question. Remember that social, moral, spiritual and cultural. So these kind of questions that I pose to you are all about thinking how the lesson links to real life. Okay. So what I'd like you to do either underneath this on the PowerPoint itself that I've attached to your team's work, on a blank piece of paper that you can later take a photo and upload for me, or on a blank Word document, the answer to the question. So, do you think it's important for playwrights to take inspiration from current events when they are writing their plays? If you would like to put me on pause for a minute to answer that question, please feel free to do so, or continue listening to the whole bit and come back to it. Okay, so the play that we are going to look at is called Blood Brothers. Okay, that's something that we're going to look at in our practical lessons. And what I'd like you to do is just take some time to play the clip. I'm not going to play it within the video right now because there tends to be a bit of a jolt. So if you'd like to go to the PowerPoint, either double click on the black square and that will open it up, or use the YouTube link and take a look at that video for me. This is the trailer for Rusty Movies version of the play. Pop me on pause, we'll carry on. So, Blood Brothers is a play by Willie Russell and it's a musical and it was set in 1960s Liverpool. The story follows twins who are Mickey and Eddie and who were separated at birth, as you can see with this side with the information up here. I'm backwards to where I'm pointing, forgive me. So Mrs. Johnston has very little money and she finds out that she is pregnant with twins. She does decide to give up one of her babies to a wealthy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Lyons, who she cleans for. Mickey and Eddie meet at 7 years old and become best friends, and when you experience the play, they become something called Blood Brothers. It's a pact that they make. And they also have another friend called Linda. The story follows their friendship and their struggles in their different lives, eventually leading to Mickey and Eddie being killed. So that is the play that we are going to explore. As you can already imagine from the storyline, there are a lot of lessons and a lot of messages within the play. So the use of epic theatre and Blood Brothers marry up really well. Okay. I'd like you just to take a little bit of time now to watch this second clip. So it's actually the opening scene of Blood Brothers. It is a 15-minute clip, and if you want to later down the line spend a little bit of time watching that, that's absolutely fine. But for the purpose of this task, it is just up to 2 minutes 42. Whilst you're watching that clip, I'd like you to think about the Brechtian techniques that you noticed during that opening. So remember what we've done in our practical lessons, those key dramatic techniques that make up epic theatre and that we have been exploring. See if you can recognise any of them. Pop me on pause to complete that task, or continue listening and come back to it later. Okay, on your team's task, I have attached the full version of the script Blood Brothers, but what I'd like you to do is focus on pages 22 to 25. Take a read through of them, read it carefully, and think about the different language the characters use, the stage directions, so that's all the bit in italics, how the characters' verbal and non-verbal communication would be different if you were viewing it, and why the scene is really important based on what you know about the story so far. Once you've done that, what I'd like you to do is write down a response to each one of those points above. So again, you can either do that on the PowerPoint itself next to the questions, on a blank piece of paper that you upload as a photo later on or as a blank Word document. Okay guys, you can pop me on pause whilst you do that task, or you can continue watching and do it later. Just a point to make is that if you are following a normal school timetable, at some point during this lesson, you will need to stop to have your lunch. Don't forget. Okay, so we come to our final task, and what I would like you to do is summarise how you would put the scene that you have just read into action. So if you were in a practical lesson, think about how you would get up on stage, what it would look like, how you would verbalise your plan to me as we would in a normal discussion. But all I want you to do is write it down. Think of this as a chance to pre-plan your next lot of practical work so that when we come in, we're simply straight up on our feet and we're getting on with it. All right? Once you've made that summary, I'd like you to finish off by giving examples of at least 2 placards that you would add to the scene and what they would say. So this might be the time where you need to reread the scene, think about and remember the fact that placards can be characters, objects, locations, times, feelings, thoughts. What would really help the audience understand the story more if it was written on a placard, and who would be holding it, where would it be, what would it say? Okay. And then finally, describe at least 2 moments within the scene where you would add a freeze frame and why. And please do be descriptive with that. If when I'm reading it, I can't visualise what's actually happening on stage, it's not detailed enough. If you need any help whatsoever, please just drop a message in the chat or email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And then upload your work onto Teams. Stay safe, guys. Miss you lots. Bye.